Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahakudash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. And it's speaking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true children of Israel. This verse is telling you to arise and depart spiritually from the ways of this world, the customs, the practices, the day-to-day routines that this world is accustomed to. Because as it says, this is not our rest. Every place where the children of Israel has been scattered to was for our punishment, because we went off from the laws, statutes, and commandments of our power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. It's a part of the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. So we shouldn't be trying to make a living for ourselves in this society under the heathens, especially under these Edomites, or so-called white people. And only the elect are going to get this message. But the main thing we should be concerned about right now is atoning for our transgressions and doing whatever we can to stay in the good graces of our power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and so we can hope to be of that elect number and be saved from these calamities of Jacob's trouble, which are quickly coming and which are going to engulf the wicked of our people who don't want to take heed to the words of the prophets of the Most High, who are chiefly through GMS or Great Millstone, as well as the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS, and who are going to be judged accordingly. Now, with that being said, since we're still in captivity, we do need to get our daily bread. I'm not telling you to quit your job, curse out your boss, or do anything like that. Just take yourself out of the ways of this world as much as you can. And you know what? Just keep food on the table, clothing on your back, and a roof over your head, and take care of your loved ones if you got them. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. Again, these heathen nations that the children of Israel have been scattered to, and the main place I'll be talking about in this video is the United States of America. Spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great, has polluted the children of Israel. Just look at the state of our people in the U.S., especially the Southern Kingdom, or you so-called Negroes. Broken down communities, children that are sodomites and whores and thugs and monsters out here, and women that are unruly and whores themselves that just give a bad name to our nation. And then you men out there too, a lot of y'all are goddamn coons for the white man. Shit, again, this place is polluted and it has destroyed us, and that ultimate destruction is going to be when Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai brings these calamities of Jacob's trouble onto this world, and especially the United States of America, to judge our people. And then hey, if you get through the pestilences, the famines, the race wars, the civil wars, martial law, and you're not of that elect number, you're ultimately going to be burned up by one of those 200 million nuclear missiles that are going to hit the U.S. and turn it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland afterwards. But I opened up the video with this verse to preface an article from usatoday.com titled, "Most so-called black people, really Israelites, tribe of Judah, want reparations. They don't believe America will give them any, and you shouldn't expect any from these American Edomites, because again, this place is not our rest. It was a place of punishment for us going off from our power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai." And this article is behind a subscription wall, but the little bit we can read here pretty much hits the point. About 45% of so-called black Judite people in the nation said equality is not likely to happen. It is polluted and it shall destroy you. This is not our rest. According to a Pew Research Center survey, nearly 9 in 10 Judite adults want to see aspects of the courts and other parts of the criminal justice system reformed. Judite people in the Northeast were more likely to say the legacy of racism significantly impacts Judite people compared to the South and the Midwest. And hey, these grievances that these Judites have are true. Racism is still alive and well in the United States of America, and you Israelites, especially those of the Southern Kingdom, get the worst aspects of it. Last hired, first fired, being profiled and followed by the cops, getting disrespected left and right, getting followed by these other heathen nations when you go into their stores, rude attitudes, and just everything is disproportionately rigged against the children of Israel. And I was going into this with my Saturday lesson about how the Israelites and these Edomites are never going to get along. We were enemies from the womb, and these Edomites are really going to show their horns as America collapses further and we get into Jacob's trouble. They're going to show you that old racist 1950s, 1800s spirit when it comes to survival out here. And to you Jakes that want to continue to cling on to these Edomites and these other heathen nations, you're going to get cut down for it. But again, a lot of these grievances our people have are founded because, just be honest with yourself for once. When you look at the condition of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and yes, you do have some that are doing well in America, look at the nation as a whole. It's destroyed. And that's again because this was not our place of rest. It was a place of captivity and punishment for us going off from our power. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And ultimately, to you Israelites that don't want to take heed to the message of the prophets and want to continue to cling unto your enemies, hey, that's what's going to lead to your sore destruction from the calamities of Jacob's trouble and ultimately those nuclear missiles. I'll read a little bit of this and then get back to the precepts. In 2020, Judite people protested George Floyd's death and made their voices heard at the ballot box in record numbers. More than a year later, they have grown more pessimistic about sweeping change across the United States, but remain steadfast in demanding reparations and police reform. Polling shows, and don't hold your breath, because nothing's going to change until the United States of America is destroyed by those nuclear missiles, and these heathens, beginning with these Edomites, are taken out of power, and the kingdom of heaven is established, where you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, beginning with the elected of the nation of Israel, will finally be at rest in rulership. But until then, the situation is going to continue to deteriorate for not just you so-called Negroes, but you Latinos and Native Americans as well, in the United States of America and wherever the children of Israel are dwelling across the planet. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, speaking of you Israelites, our eyes as yet failed for our vain, our useless help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. And the main nation that our people try to cleave unto for help are these Edomites. And as you can see, the more you try to cling unto these Edomites, the worse your situation is. Your eyes have yet failed for the vain help of this nation that cannot save you. And these Edomites are the top heathen nation that hate you the most. Ever since our forefather Jacob supplanted the blessing and the birthright of the kingdom of heaven from their forefather, they've had it in their spirit to cut us off as a nation. Hey, first cutting us off by our identity and ultimately wanting to cut us off from the face of the earth. Read Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. They have had a perpetual hatred towards us and have continued to kill us off with the force of the sword, which is their blessing. And that sword goes into more than just these cops roaming the streets and killing off our people, or these racist Edomites like, what's his name, George Zimmerman, or any of these other listed Edomites that have come against our people and put up situations to kill them off. That sword can go into them putting these poisonous food and water into our communities to further pollute and kill our people, giving us rap and hip-hop and thug culture to turn our people into whores, demons, sodomites, thugs, and gangsters, putting Planned Parenthoods into our neighborhoods to advocate for our women to delete their children, though the Most High is putting a monkey wrench in that. The list goes on and on. Again, this place was never meant to be rest for us. It was a punishment and captivity for our transgression from the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. And like I've been saying throughout this video, you jakes that want to continue to not take heed to the words of the prophets and think that, oh, even though just because we're seeing little so-called incremental gains here and there, society's progressing and eventually we'll be equal with these white people. You're sadly mistaken. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. You jakes that want to continue to cleave unto these Edomites and other heathen nations are going to take part in the same judgments that they're going to take part in. Though in the kingdom, when you're reborn through the loins of the elect, you'll be all good. You'll be under the new covenant and have the laws, statutes, and commandments in you, and you'll be in rulership in the kingdom of heaven. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered, beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, who are doing everything they can right now to depart from the ways of this world spiritually and come back to their power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in hopes of salvation from the calamities of Jacob's trouble, and to be of that first fruits in the kingdom of heaven. This is Isaiah chapter 30. I'm going to read verses 1 to 3. Woe or destruction to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. They take on the covering and the counsel of these heathen nations, their vain help looking for a nation that could not save them, chiefly these Edomites, that walk to go down into Egypt, spiritual Egypt in Revelation 11 verse 8, the United States of America, and have not asked at my mouth. And who's the mouth of the Most High? The prophets that are out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles online, warning you, jakes, and admonishing you of your ways and telling you to come back to your power before the great judgments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai during Jacob's trouble really hit, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And your modern day Pharaoh is the president of the U.S. And look at what happened when the election between Trump and Biden took place. A lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were screaming and crying for Joe Biden to get into office so he could save you from Trump. But look at what's happened since Biden's gotten into office. He signed in a bunch of executive orders, which are going to lead to more draconian laws to take away more of your rights, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. You jakes that want to continually cleave unto these Edomites during the times of Jacob's trouble are going to get cut down like these Edomites. And you're also going to get cut down by these Edomites during these race wars. Because remember, Esau is the sword of the Most High, as pursuant to Psalm 17 verse 13. And he used him to afflict us during slavery all the way up until today. So how do you think the Most High is going to treat you if you go unto his whipping stick for help? You're just going to get beat that much harder by it. But now I'm going to close it out in Isaiah 31 verses 1 to 3. Woe again to them, those rebellious children, the children of Israel, that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. You look at these Edomites right now in America and see their military might, though it's on the decline, and see the US dollar as the world reserve currency, though that's on the decline, and you think that this Babylonian, Egyptian, American system is going to last forever, so that's where you're going to stake your claims for. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. You scoff at the prophets of the Most High and scoff at his word, cast it behind your back like it's nothing but just a nonsense coming out of a fairy tale book. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will rise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. These Edomites who are evildoers, and you Jakes who cleave unto them, you're evildoers as well, going against the ways of your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. It was the Most High who set this Edomite up in power to rule over you. He didn't do anything of himself. As it says in Daniel chapter 4, I believe, the Most High setteth up whomsoever he will, even the basest of men. This Edomite was set up to rule for a little season, to fulfill prophecy, and also to afflict you Israelites, but he wouldn't rule forever. He would be taken out of power, and you would be set up in power. So that's who you should be worshiping, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and not these spiritual Egyptians, these American Edomites who are men and flesh, and can and will be destroyed, as Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus Christ, said in the New Testament, rather fear him that can destroy the body and soul, not just him who can just destroy the body, which is all that these Edomites can do. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Those that uphold the system and those that cling unto the system are all going to fall down in the judgments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai during Jacob's trouble. Ultimately, those nuclear missiles, which is going to turn this place into a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites, mainly from spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great, the United States of America. So as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.